A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to A+ English. I'm Mike.
I'm Chickling.
And today we are beginning an article all about a trip to the art museum. Yay! Let's go look at some art in the art museum. That's a good thing to do on a rainy afternoon, maybe on the weekend, maybe when you're feeling like you don't have enough culture in your life or you're just a fan of art. Maybe you want to be an artist yourself and you're going to the museum to get some inspiration. Or I know a lot of art students might go there and just sit down for an hour or two and actually just draw the paintings or, kind of copy them to learn from the great masters. So there's many reasons to visit art museums or museums in general, and it's something that I think everyone should maybe do a little bit more. It's like exercise for your brain and your soul. So let's look at our warm-up question. Do you like to visit museums, and what kind of museums do you enjoy?
I do. And I actually just went to one recently.
Really? Okay.
On Children's Day. It's in Taichung. I think it's the Natural Science Museum or History Science Museum.
Natural History Museum.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
Animals and nature.
And it's got dinosaurs in there.
Yeah, that would be
it's
a
my
Natural History Museum. Cool.
What about you?
The Natural History Museum in New York, of course, was famous for the Night at the Museum movies. And there's a great Natural History Museum in London that I used to go to a lot when I was a kid.
I went there once.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Let's see. I also went to a museum not long ago. I was in Vietnam, and we went to a museum about the Vietnam War. It was quite sad.
I think you talked about that before.
Yeah, it was sad. It's kind of cool because you see like tanks and helicopters and airplanes outside, but then you go in and, it tells the sad story of the war when, people die and there's lots of, scary pictures in there. But it's important to learn about things, and museums are wonderful places to teach yourself about things and also places that we can protect important things from culture, from history, from the story of a people and a country. So museums are wonderful places to go for many different reasons. All right, so let's look at an art museum. No dinosaurs in this one, and certainly no tanks or airplanes, but we will find lots of paintings and sculptures, which is really wonderful and certainly not as depressing as a war museum. Let's check it out.
A trip to the art museum. Warm-up question. Do you like to visit museums? What kind of museums do you enjoy?
Exhibition, gallery, painting, guided tour, audio guide, sculpture, collection, floor map, main entrance, gift shop, admission, brochure.
Hello, can I have 2 adult tickets, please?
Of course. That's 50 NT dollars each, please.
My friend is a student. Do you have student discounts?
We do. Can I see the student ID card, please? With the discount, the total price for 2 tickets is 75 NT dollars.
All right, everyone, let's get into our article, which, as we can see, takes the form of a dialogue. So it's kind of like a conversation between a couple of folks, and the main character seems to be Victor. Well, I'm saying he's the main character because he's the guy visiting the museum today. So kind of like we would be. And as we begin the dialogue, Victor says to someone, "Hello, can I have 2 adult tickets, please?" I hope he's talking to someone, otherwise he's crazy and he's talking to himself. But no, I think Victor is talking to another person. And he wants to get into the museum, and this is a museum where you do have to buy a ticket. Some museums are free, right? They ask you to, give a donation of some money, but you can come in for free. Other ones, yeah, you'll have to pay a little bit, or maybe a lot, in fact, in some places.
Ooh.
But before you go in, like with a movie theater or like going to see a music concert or a sports event, you will need a ticket. And notice here he asked for adult tickets. So that tells me that Victor has a friend, and that friend is not a child.
Okay.
So it's not Victor and his kids, for example. It's Victor and his friend.
So adult tickets, some people can also pronounce it as adult.
Yeah.
So we, like us, we have to purchase adult tickets. But if we have kids, or if you have kids, you have to purchase child tickets for them. And you can also have a student ticket or a senior ticket.
A senior ticket. That's
Usually,
right.
like if you're older than 62 or 65.
60, 65, something like that. Yeah, if you're a student, you might have to show an ID. So even if you just look young, like me, they won't let you in.
We can both wear uniforms and go to the
that's
museum.
That's a good idea. You can find a uniform that fits me. I will be very surprised. And child tickets, usually under 12. I think that's kind of often a cutoff point. So there you go. And if you go often with a group, too, you might be able to save as well. But yeah, many of these places, you will need a ticket. So who is Victor talking to? Oh, good. He's talking to another person, not just an imaginary friend or a ghost. In fact, this person is the clerk, a person who works there serving customers, answering questions, helping people get what they need. This is a good general term for someone who works in a store, and their job is mainly just helping customers. They're probably not the person you give money to. That might be a cashier or something like that. But if you're in a store like a supermarket and you can't find the ketchup, you might find a clerk and say, "Excuse me, can you show me where the ketchup is? Or do you have any of this?" And they can help you and probably solve your problem for you. So Victor asks the clerk who's selling the tickets, probably at a special counter or desk near the entrance, for a couple of tickets. And the clerk says, "No, get out of here." No, the clerk says, "Of course, yes, definitely, you can have 2 adult tickets. We always want to welcome people, but it ain't gonna be free, Victor. It's gonna cost you not very much money. That's $50 NT each, please."
That's fine.
Yeah, $50 NT.
So
not
$100
too
NT
bad.
in total.
Exactly. What's a movie these days? $300, $400?
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, well, it's a lot cheaper than a movie. That's my point.
Around maybe 200 something.
$200, so there you go. Much cheaper than a movie.
Yeah, so $50 NT 就是50元的台币，那所以2个人就100元嘛。
All right, back to the article. Now, Victor does want to mention something before he gives the money to the clerk. There is a bit of a special situation here. Victor explains, "My friend is a student. Do you have student discounts?" Oh, okay. So Victor is obviously an older person. He's not a student right now. He's out of school. But his friend is a student, so he wants to see if they can save a little bit of money. And when you're asking for a special lower price, or asking if they can give you a lower price, you might be asking for a discount. When things are on sale, they are being discounted. We could use it as a verb, but often you'll just see a big sign in a store window saying 20% discount or 50% discount. That means they're taking money off and everything will be cheaper. Hooray.
So everyone likes a discount, but usually the shops, they just raise the price and say, "Oh, we have a discount."
Okay. That's tricky.
Yeah, so 打八折 in Chinese we say 打八折, but in English we have to say 20% off.那如果是 15% off, 就是我们中文的打八五折哦。So 比如说 all of our shirts are 20% off today. Would you like one?
Do you have them in purple?
No, we only have them in black.
No, I don't want them. I only wear purple.
Okay.
I want to be like Prince. All right, back to the article. The clerk says we do. So yes, they do offer a student discount. They do have lower price tickets for students, but of course you have to kind of prove that you're a student. You can't just go up and say, I'm a student. So the clerk says, we do. Can I see the student ID card, please? So yeah, you'll have to show a student ID card from this year. Don't keep your high school student ID from 20 years ago. Oh, I'm still a student. No, it has to be from this year.
Okay.
And if you look young, that also will help. If you have a beard and grandchildren, they probably won't believe you. But so can I see the student ID card, please, says the clerk. And I can imagine Victor handing the ID card to the clerk, and then the clerk explains with the discount, the total price for 2 tickets is 75 NT dollars. So he saved about 25% of what he was supposed to pay before. It's not 100, now it's down to 75.
Cool. 所以这边 student ID 就是学生证，那我们这个 ID 其实就是identification 的缩写。那你们看到一个 price total price 就是总额，那price 这边是价格，所以如果我们去买东西看到标价，那标价的英文就是 price tag。比如说 How much is the coat? I don't see the price tag.
This museum is big. Where should we begin?
Let's start at the top and work our way down.
Is there a specific order to see the exhibitions?
I don't think so. Oh, look! They have audio guides. Let's take 2.
Okay, and we are back. So let's check out what happens next. Now it seems we've moved on a few minutes. At least Victor is not talking to the clerk. He's already bought the tickets. He's with his friend who he's going to look at the museum with today. And so Victor says, this museum is big. Where should we begin? Well, that's a good question, actually. Some museums are absolutely huge. I mean, some of them, they say you should really spend 2 or 3 days there, right? I think like the Louvre Museum in Paris, they kind of say you can't possibly see everything in one day because some of them are big. So you need to kind of have a plan or a strategy, get a map, know what you want to see, know what areas are not so interesting. You want to make best use of your time in the museum, and also bring a pair of comfortable shoes. Leave your sexy high heels or those brand new leather boots that are going to, be mean to your feet. Leave those home where you're most comfortable walking or running shoes, because you might be walking a lot that day. So the museum is big. Where should we begin? He could also say, where should we start? Couldn't he?
So begin and start 这两个字可以稍微比较一下, but usually I think begin is a little bit more formal than start, right?
Yeah.
But for some certain things, we only use start. For like machines or business, 比如说 the copying machine won't start when we don't really say the copying machine won't begin. It's kind of weird.
No,
right?
definitely not.
Or Yasmin decided to start her own restaurant in Mexico.
Oh, okay. So that's like to open or to have something go into operation, to have something start working. Whereas to begin is really just to have an event or an activity start or begin. But you're right. We wouldn't say begin for machines. You don't begin your motorcycle. You start your motorcycle before you drive. Back to the article. Wendy, she's got a bit of a plan. She says, let's start at the top and work our way down. That's a good logical plan. You can take the stairs, escalator, elevator up to the 3rd or 4th floor, whatever the top is, the top floor of the building, and work your way down. Basically go slowly from the top down to the 4th floor, to the 3rd floor, to the 2nd, to the 1st. And once you get down to the bottom, you should have seen everything. That's one way of doing it.
So work one's way down 这边是慢慢移动的意思。你有没有看到一个 let's？ 所以我们就是去干，让我们去做什么事情的那种感觉哦。后面是加原形动词哦。比如说 let's stop chatting and get down to business.
Let's do it. All right, back to Victor. He doesn't seem to have a problem with Wendy's plan. It seems very sensible. But he does have a question. He says, is there a specific order to see the exhibitions? that's a good thing to check out. An art museum, maybe not, because, they'll probably separate things by style of art or time that it was painted or made. But if you're in a natural history museum or a history museum in general, there might be a specific order, a certain way you should see things, beginning at a certain place and ending at a certain place. When we have an order, we're kind of organizing things in a logical way, often by something like time. So I bet in your natural history museum, you might see the dinosaurs first, and then they move on to the woolly mammoths, the big old hairy elephants from thousands of years, and then they move into more modern animals. So often in history museums, they do sort of go by time. So they'll start a long time ago and work up by each room, by each floor, to time that is much more modern, more close to us. That kind of order is very common.
Yeah, so specific 就是特定的，那么它就是一个形容词哦。那它副词就是 specifically， 所以我们可以造两个句子，比如说 There was no specific plan in his mind， 代表他的其实没有什么很特定的一个目标或计划。那比如说 The houses are specifically designed for old people， 很 nice 欸。
That is very nice. Yeah, so probably not so many stairs and things like that. Good. Okay, back to Wendy. Victor was saying, is there a special order or a specific order that we should follow? And Wendy kind of looks around or maybe has a guide with her. She says, I don't think so. So yeah, as I said, in art museums, it's often more by style of art. So if there's a certain style you like modern art, you can go see that. And maybe the really old paintings aren't so interesting. So that could be a way of doing it. But you can also get advice from the people in the museum or from the things that the museum offers. As Wendy says, she says, I don't think so. I don't think there's a specific order. But she notices something. Oh, look, she says. They have audio guides. Let's take 2. That's a good idea. An audio guide is kind of like a small... What is it, like an iPod or something like that? It's like a small machine. It has headphones. You turn it on. You can often pick a language, and it will basically be like a tour guide, except it's recorded, and it's sort of set up so as you walk around, it knows where you are, and it will start giving you information about the area or the thing that you're looking at. So kind of like a tour guide, but you can take it at your own speed, and you don't have to go with a group.
所以 audio guide 就是声音导览哦。那我们今天看到非常多的单字，我们赶快来看一下吧。OK， 我们今天第一个单字是 each， 指的是每个。那么如果有人会说，那 each 跟 every 的差别是什么呢？其实 each 通常就是强调每一个，就是强调各一，有各这个感觉哦。但是 every 就是每位的意思。那通常呢，如果有使用到 almost practically 或者是 nearly 这些字的话，我们就会使用跟 every 放在一起，就不会跟 each 一起使用。比如说 almost every car in the parking lot was new。好，那我们再看另外一个句子 These apples cost $20 each. Let's buy some. 这些苹果一颗新台币20元呢，我们买一些吧。那我们刚刚是不是看到总额呢？所以总价是多少？就是 total price 或者是 the total cost 也可以。那我们常常口语就会说your total comes to 代表那你今天的总额是多少？比如说 your total comes to $75.99。那我们看另外一个句子哦 The total number of people at our table was 12. 我们这一桌呢，那时候坐了12个人。那刚刚是不是就是问到说，那我们在观看这个博物馆的时候有没有一个顺序啊？我们通常会说 order 来当顺序。那如果是根据年龄身高，就可以说 be in order of age or be in order of height. 比如说 all the kids lined up in the order of height. 每个小孩子呢是跟着身高的顺序去排队的。那么 order 除了当顺序以外，当指令啊、命令或甚至是订单都是常常见的。比如说 soldiers must obey orders， 代表士兵们就是一定要遵守他们的指令。Or can I take your order now？ 我现在可以帮你点餐了吗？And let's take a look at another sentence. 这边是当顺序的意思。We put these books in the order of the English alphabet. 我们照着英文字母的顺序来摆放这些书本的。那最后呢，我们有看到 think 这一个字，它就是认为、觉得。那它的三态是 think, thought, thought. 大家要注意一下哦。So usually, if you want to ask someone for their opinions, you can say, What do you think? 你觉得呢？或者是我们常常说，中文会说三思而后行，这个三思，可是英文我们是想两 2次哦。英文会说 think twice， 所以比如说 think twice before you sign the contract， 你签合约之前一定要三思哦。那么来看另外一个句子。Justin thinks he knows the answer, but he isn't sure. Justin 觉得他知道答案，但是他不确定。那最后呢，我们今天是不是说，can I 我可以干嘛呢？表示请求。但是通常我们可以委婉一点的讲，会更有礼貌，可以变成 could。所以你也可以说 Can I open the window? Or could I open the window? Or can I try this on? Could I try this on? 那大家记得练习哦。我们今天总共有4个单字。
Review time.
All right, everyone, we are back for our little bit of review time to look at the 4 new words that we had in our first dialogue about visiting an art museum. Just to remind ourselves, those words were each, total, order, and think. All right, so are you ready to play a little game?
Of what?
A little game of, let's see, guess the definition.
Okay.
So I'll give you a definition of one of these words. In other words, what you might read in a dictionary listed after the word or written after the word. And you have to guess which word I am telling you about.
Okay.
Basically describe the word, okay? A logical, organized sequence.
Okay. 很有逻辑的一个 sequence, 一个系列. So I suppose it's order.
An order, yes. A logical, organized order or sequence. That's actually a fairly similar word. To use your brain.
To think.
To think. I think
like
that's
some people, they don't think.
Well, actually, yeah, that's true, yes. If you're actively using your brain, you're thinking. If your brain is just keeping you from dying, that's not thinking. That's just your brain on autopilot, as we might say. By an individual.
Individual.
By
That's
an individual. Each, yes. Or for a single person or user. You could say something like that. Okay. And all the numbers added together in the end.
Total number.
Is the total number. Very well done. You got a total of 4 out of 4 on that little quiz. You should be in a museum.
Okay, why?
I don't know, because it's
That's a reward?
It's a great accomplishment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You should be very proud of yourself, and we will stuff you and mount you in a museum like some interesting thing. All right. Don't worry. After you pass away,
okay.
like a waxwork, like Madame Tussauds. It's an honor.
Okay.
Be quiet. All right, we're going to be back tomorrow with more from the museum, and I promise you, Chicklin will be here live and in person, not a wax version of her.
Magic Box.
大家好，我阿拉丁当年为了赢得茉莉公主的芳心，请神灯精灵把我变成了阿里王子。哎呀，我帅气的外表可真是像旋风一般席卷了阿格拉巴，所以呢，男女老少呢都爱我爱到不行哦。大家呢都在问这个神秘的王子是哪里来的啊 ？Where is he from?I'm from 阿巴巴，我就是阿巴巴来的高富帅王子啦。要问在哪里表达的地方呢，我们就可以使用这个疑问词 where。比方说呢 ，Where is your pencil？ 你的铅笔在哪里啊 ？Where did you meet your girlfriend？ 你是在哪里认识你的女朋友啊？要问在哪里，我们呢就用 where 这个疑问词喽。既然是疑问词，我们呢就是搭配问句来使用。你呢可以搭配 be 动词来问人或是东西在哪里哦。比方说呢，哎呀，我的神灯好像被甲方给偷走了。Where is my lamp？ 我的神灯在哪里啊 ？Where is my lamp？ 我们呢就用疑问词 where 开头，加上 be 动词，再加上要问在哪里的东西。例如呢，我的神灯 my lamp。这个用法呢也很常用来问呢，你从哪里来 ？Where are you from? I'm from Taiwan. 我从台湾来的哦。一样句子呢，我们也可以改成搭配助动词哦。Where do you come from? 意思一样呢，但是差别呢就在句子里的那个一般动词 come。没有错，当你想要呢在这个问句里加上动词的时候呢，就要搭配助动词喽。我们呢来看个例句哦，例如呢，刚刚问说你在哪里遇到你的女朋友啊 ？Where did you meet your girlfriend？ Where did you meet your girlfriend? We met at Jasmine's birthday party. 我们呢是在茉莉的生日派对上遇到的哦。句型呢，我们一样使用 where 开头，先加上我们的助动词，再加上主词，再加上一般动词。我们呢可以再看一个句子哦，像是呢现在人呢手机带出门拍拍照打个卡玩一下游戏，哎呀就没电了。Where can I charge my smartphone? 在哪里可以充我手机的电呢 ？Where can I charge my smartphone? 要问在哪里就要用 where 咯。